Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon, and you're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Good. It's the Man Cave Morning Show.
Morning.
Wake your ass up.
Welcome to the Man Cave Morning Show. We are back.
Alright.
We are back, people.
Did you miss us?
Yes, yes. It feels good to be back in this seat. I miss this seat, bro.
Yeah, we missed you.
Salute to you all. Man Cave Morning Show. WBKS1 Radio. BKS1 Radio TV on YouTube. But first, let me introduce the squad. The Man Cave is in the building. To my right, the dude that gets a little rude, especially when he's in the bad mood. We call him Deacon Woo. Deacon Woo.
Get it. Wu-Tang is for the children.
To my right, my man 50 grand.
Hey.
I call him
the
dude. Or the dude.
Yeah, the dude. Yes. Glad to have you back. I miss this brother. I was following him on his live like I was stalking him. I was stalking him. I wanted to know every bit of what was going on in Mexico.
Mexico was on and popping. Yes, I just got back after a beautiful vacation with wifey. It was our anniversary. So salute to wifey and the anniversary and all that.
Mrs. General.
No doubt.
Squale.
But shout out to everybody on checking, man. Look, I had a great time in Mexico. Met some nice people, met some good people, fun people. I've experienced some things there.
Do tell.
Yeah, I'm just
saying. It was all good, man.
All right.
Getting up early in the morning, drinking my hand before breakfast. Getting on the volleyball court in like 90-something degree weather.
All right.
Hot. But met some good people, man. Shout out to Lindsay. Shout out to Lindsay. Let's clap it up for her. She's a teacher. Lindsay, I met her and her husband Josh, and they were cool. They were cool people. Crystal and I'm forgetting names. Sherry and my Jersey folks, Dave and everybody. But it was a cool vacation. I'm just glad to be back.
Respect.
Very
well deserved, well earned,
well rested, ready to go, ready to rock out.
Right.
I come back. You hit me with these topics and these issues and things that's been going on that I missed.
Let's get it, boss man.
That I missed.
You taught me well.
But first and foremost, let me shout out everybody right now that's checking us out live on YouTube, checking us out live on Twitter, Periscope. Shout out to everybody checking us out live on Ustream, the mother site, WBKS1.com. Listening to us live on the TuneIn app. Just watching us on Facebook, man. Salute to y'all, man. I'm just glad to be back.
All right.
Emotional, man.
We are happy to have you, man.
I'm glad you're back, bro.
We are glad you are back, my general.
No doubt. Shout out to Robin Starr. Tweet on the check-in. Rian Cuthbert. Demetria on the check-in. Good morning, Demetria. Good morning, Toya on the check-in.
Toya.
Tammy Walker, Curtis Copples, Patricia
Walker,
Shell Givens on the check-in, Paul Joseph Williams on the check-in, Karen Gary, Sandy B, what's up, babe? D. Sands on the check-in, Michael Lackey, Anthony Williams on the check-in, Mustafa Muhammad, Dawn Forte, D. Forte on the check-in, Angela Washington on the check-in. Good morning to you all. And let's clap it up for y'all, man. Salute. Salute. Tweet, put that vacation together. Talk to Sandy. Y'all get that popping. I'm ready for the next one. Shout out to Donna Dukes on the check-in. And let's get it, man. Let's talk about some things. So what's some of the things we talking about? First and foremost, how was y'all weekend, man? I'm sorry.
Very well. Very restful. Good weekend.
My weekend was very good, brother, I must say. Very. I had a very good, tasty weekend. Very tasty, a lot of dinner.
Oh, okay. Thanks for clearing that up.
No, man, I'm talking about food. Yo,
all right. Because that could go either way. I had a very tasty weekend. You know, I know you got your new boo and everything.
Hey.
That could have went a lot of places, bro.
Me Too generation. We're talking about food.
Oh, wow. I'm talking about eating. Well, let me just stop. If I say eating, you're going to take that another route, too.
Okay, so you had a good dinner?
I had a good dinner, bro.
That's what's up. That's what's up. A dinner that was bought or somebody made it?
Dinner bought, man.
Okay.
And one just, great cook, great chef. Love eating her food.
No doubt. Okay, so I'm going to clap that up. I ain't messing with you, bro. All right, so what we talking about this morning?
Who are you talking to? Me or your past relationship?
Ooh.
Break that down.
Sometimes we men are put in the unalienable position of being with a woman that's been in a relationship that was bad, a poor relationship. And sometimes these sisters got PTSD. And sometimes things that I say remind the sister of something that the other brother said. I ain't got nothing to do with the fact that you was with a punk. I don't got nothing to do with the fact that you was with a loser. I never disrespected you. I ain't never did a damn thing to you. Watch your mouth. You respect me, I respect you. But stop yelling at me for stuff that don't got nothing to do with me, General.
So sometimes you think when you catch that heat from a woman,
I'm getting yelled at.
She's actually yelling at
the dude before me.
The dude before you.
And being quite disrespectful, I might add.
So she's putting
I said it.
You in his place.
Right.
Wow.
Right. When I'm just trying to be a nice guy, which is what you all say you want.
Right.
But then you coming at me sideways with a disrespectful mouth.
Right.
And I'm taking it because you're cute. Hey, how you doing? All right now. But there comes a time when a man got to be respectful. Am I right or am I wrong?
So you're saying that a lot of disrespect that we get from women in relationships is really coming from their past situation.
That is exactly what I'm saying. And they're supported in doing it. No one ever checks them on that.
Okay.
Nobody ever checks them on it. It's just accepted as being strong, black, and independent.
Good morning, Pie Lady. Good morning, Laverne. Good morning. I'm going to have to agree with you on that, bro.
What? Let me clap that up.
Dennis, you disagree?
I don't really disagree, but there's more that needs to be added to that.
Go ahead.
Add on, brother.
I feel like a lot of times when women are mouthy a lot of times, what I found out, it depends on what chord you struck. Sometimes it does have something to do with the past, but I mean, if I could just transfer it over and say, because I know that what I'm learning is delivery is everything, how you deliver it. So when I say how you deliver it, sometimes they may be thinking about the last dude that talked to them crazy. And then here you go, putting them in the mind frame of them talking, and then we'll blame and say, oh, I'm not the dude in your past. But you giving them past reminders of certain words that you use. And that's what I come to find out. Real talk.
Okay, D. As we all know, I'm very opinionated.
Right. I agree.
Huh?
I know
and I'm
you
going to
are.
offer you my opinion.
Okay.
Now, you may like it, you may not. But I respect the fact that you have an opinion. And when I think about something, I try not to think about it in terms of what my past was, because you have nothing to do with
right
why I'm being triggered.
Right.
I try to see, even though You know how many times me and Norm disagree, and it's great radio.
Right.
Am I right? Like he's over
Right,
here,
right.
I'm over there. Do I just Norm and just discount him and just say hey and start becoming disrespectful? What I'm saying is, while I hear what you're saying about my delivery,
Right.
whose fault is it that you're getting angry with me just expressing myself? Okay. Let me be clear. I may get angry, but I'm going to check myself. Because last time I checked, Norm's opinion is as valuable as mine. Just because I don't agree with it, or just because Norm said it in a way that somebody else said it, what the hell do that got to do with Norm? Nothing at all. And so now I'm getting all of this heat, and I'm back on my heels. And what it makes me do as a man is cut off. Like, okay, sister, maybe you're not ready.
Oh,
in terms of being in a relationship with me, like I'm out. I'm not dealing with that.
I heard this. Even in the early stages of courting, even with my wife.
Yes.
I heard, cause I ain't that other chick you used to deal with.
Go ahead.
You know, and she was being in general. You know,
I understand.
I ain't her. I ain't this. And a lot of women do that. You know what I'm saying? And so y'all don't realize it's the same thing with y'all. I'm not that dude that you used to deal with. Don't put me in that category. So if his behavior,
Man Cave Morning Show,
yeah, if his behavior was like that,
it's man talk, baby,
or if this person used to deal with, used to run out and do this, whatever, and have little sneaky things going on and be plotting and all of this, whatever, because he did it, that don't mean I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, you know, a lot of women got to realize that. A lot of times you so used to getting dealt a bad hand.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
When you actually got a good hand, you play it the wrong way.
You sure do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like you play it the wrong way, and it's like you got to realize everybody is different. When I'm learning about people overall,
yes,
and this kind of relates to what we was talking about before the show, just people overall, everybody is an individual. You cannot lump the same behavior up with everybody you deal with. Everybody is different. People are different. You know what I'm saying? Treat people on a case-by-case basis based on how they treat you.
Now,
go ahead, Will.
Go ahead, D.
That would be the realistic term what Norm just said, and I totally agree with that. But then there's also the saying that my grandfather used to say. He would say, you can keep a dog tied to a tree a very long time. Release the dog off the chain and the dog will still stay close to the tree. Meaning that you get used to certain things. You get used to certain
good
things.
or bad.
Mm-hmm.
And when you become used to something, even when you're free from it, you may not realize you're free from it. So this is where, in my opinion, personal life, transitioning, like you got to be patient and allow people to transition, because some people are still tied up to trees that they think they still tied to and they free from. So it can be frustrating sometimes, but if you embark patience in that, which I'm learning to do, if you embark patience in that, you'll find that it makes you look at the situation where you're not taking down from what Norm or Wu is saying about you can't go by how you were treated in your past. It doesn't take away from that or negate that. But it also, the transitioning or allowing a person to transition, it also gives you the opportunity to go, you know what, it ain't nothing personal. When it becomes personal, you deal with it. So it may be 10 cases you have where you are dealing with something that has to do with the past. You may have to deal with 7 of them and let it ride, and the other 3 address. That's just my personal opinion.
I'm glad you said the word patient. Women always say that they want for us to communicate. If I'm not allowed to communicate, how long should I be? Listen, as a 47-year-old man coming out of a failed marriage, of course I'm patient. I expect people to be patient with me. However, if me just communicating constantly triggers you,
right.
If I see something on the news, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. How long am I going to be patient in a relationship where I'm not allowed to communicate? Now, you can feel however you want, but you got to allow me to get the thought out before you jump on it. Number two, you're not hearing my thought. You're hearing someone else. So it's unfair to me because when I'm trying to communicate, you're not responding to anything that I'm saying.
Right.
Now, women, you're not listening, which is what you accuse us of doing all the time. And we are patient and patient and patient and patient until disrespect creeps in. Now, we all know that as 3 alpha males, disrespect is a relationship breaker. Now, in my younger days, we would have screamed, yelled, and had angry sex. I'm not young no more. And my patience at 47 is not what it was at 27. Because guess what? This is going to sound so sexist. This is not my last rodeo, right? When I was a young man, oh my God, I love you. I just love to be around you. Now I understand that not everyone is for me. And it might be time for me to go ahead and leave. Because guess what? Something else going to be coming down the pike. Not in a negative way, D. But if I'm in a relationship and I can't communicate, what relationship? So I'm supposed to just sit there, right? Last thing, I'm catching feelings because this is personal.
Right.
You gave that other brother that abused you patience and time. Now I don't get patience. Now you want to cut me off? The abusive man you listened to, picked him up from prison and did everything else that you did for that brother. Now here I come, Mr. Goody Two Shoes. I gets no patience and no time. How that work? I'm listening.
Good point.
The crazy thing about it, I think everybody, whether we want to admit it or not, everybody takes away something from their past.
So true. I was going to say that. So true.
And you know, that what you call that, the residual dust or whatever.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? It rubs off on you, whether it's a good trait, bad trait, whatever the case may be. And even, you know, and it's like sometimes I'm just keeping it 100. You always holding on, waiting for the person. And how can I say this without being messed up? I'm not talking about you, but you always waiting for the person to act like the person you was with before.
Yes, sir.
You waiting for that.
Yes, sir.
So you can attack.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes we wait for that. And then sometimes we wait for it so much we misjudge the person on their behavior.
Right.
They're not even trying to be that way or whatever like that. And you're like, you know what? Such. I know what you're thinking. No, you don't. You don't know. You don't know what the hell.
How many times have your woman said, "You know what you're thinking"? I'm saying,
I know what you're thinking.
How many times has a sister said, "I know what you"? No, you don't.
So I know where you're going with this.
You don't.
No, you don't. Why you think you know where I'm going with this?
Sometimes I might not even know what I'm thinking.
And I didn't have a chance to express myself yet. You didn't give me the full chance to express myself and really break down how I'm feeling. Because now you automatically assuming based on something you've dealt with before. That's all I'm saying.
Now,
the psyche.
Let's read some of your comments. Go ahead.
Yeah, the psyche of human beings, not just women and men, it's so arranged so differently because my psyche may not be where I'm able to foster up or bring forth past feelings, you know what I mean? Because even as a man, I faced a lot of different things in past relationships, and something Norm said is very true. We all take something from that. So whether we are reacting based on what our mate is saying to us, or have we just put up a tolerance wall that once that wall begins to get approached, your tolerance is like completely shut down. And I know for me in the past, once my tolerance antennas went up, I was out. Now, am I saying I regret it? No, because as I look at where I'm at today, I'm good where I'm at today.
Right.
But I also have learned that from my past reactions of being so intolerant, like Wu was saying and even Norm was saying, you know, when you start putting it in your mind as a man that your woman's coming to you with something in their past, it does something to you because it makes you feel like, yo, I'm better than the cat you was with. And that's not blowing your own horn. That's just knowing who you are. Yo, I was better than the last cat you was with. But I'd be careful. I've learned to become careful not to do that because once I start thinking that in my head, automatically my walls go up.
No doubt.
Automatically.
No doubt. And let me read this comment real quick. Shout out to to Pie Lady, and shout out to Vereen and everybody leaving comments. Let me go to one of Pie Lady's.
I bet you I can figure out what the comments are.
All right, so Pie Lady said,
"Yo, you just said that we can't."
Pie Lady said, "I think human behavior is common to humans. So while we are different, we are the same in a lot of ways."
So true. That's what I was just saying.
So clap it up
true,
for that.
True.
Well, I didn't see that one coming, Pie Lady.
That's true, Pie Lady.
I agree with you, man.
Can I get a pie?
I did not see
a
that.
cake and a pie.
Yeah, let me get 3 bean pies.
Laverne Long. Laverne Long. Yeah, I could use a bean pie. Laverne Long said that could work both ways. This is why we as a couple should not compare, simply because when you got into the relationship, you look for better.
Yes, that's what I was.
True
yep.
indeed.
These women are on point.
I did not see that one coming.
These women on point.
Y'all are
I can't even yell at
the
them this
female
morning.
perspective now.
Wow. Okay.
Let me read tweet. Okay, tweet. Tweet said, sometimes we are waiting on something to happen that we do things to make it manifest, and then when it does, we think it's confirmation. In fact, it wasn't confirmation.
Wow, these ladies
it was
are going.
orchestrated by your past.
Good point, Lisa.
To your past.
Yes. These women going in
I
today.
am flabbergasted
I'm learning
by these comments.
Yes.
I'm learning.
Now, I realize that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I realize that I'm difficult to get along with. Just ask them.
Are you?
Just ask them. But here's my point. Make the decision based upon me. You understand what I'm saying? Make the decision based upon me, not about what I'm triggering in you. See me. This is Dawood. I will deal with him or I will not. Or this is the sister. I will deal with her or I will not. But when you're constantly triggered, right? I can't. This is my voice.
Right.
This is how I talk. You understand what I'm saying? I cannot control that. And so what I'm saying is, from the male perspective, if you claim you want communication, understand that when you're in a relationship, that the opinion of the partner and your opinion is equal.
Right.
You may not like it, but it's no bad or no wrong or no right. It's just different. A lot of times, sisters got something in their head and they ride with that. If I'm disagreeing with you, it's not because I'm disrespecting you.
Right.
I don't like what you have to say, or I'm gonna whoop your ass, or spend the rent money on crack.
Right.
That's not that. It is simply that I don't agree with what you're saying. But a lot of times, me included, did you disrespect me, Norm? Did you disrespect me? Well, wait a minute. I'm not even listening to what Norm said because I'm so caught up in this, how I was treated in my past. And that's my point. And I'm surprised at the comments that the women, you know, because I thought they were like, well, Dawood, you ain't everybody's cup of tea, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, hey.
No doubt. Pie Lady said, let me read her comment. She says, self-fulfilling prophecy. Keep saying you are difficult, and that is what you will be.
True. So true.
Let me.
So true.
Yeah.
I will say I'm not for everyone, and that's being self-aware. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I don't look. I don't wake up in the morning like, how can I piss people off? But I do get feedback from time to time, so I want to get better. So Pie Lady is right. I'm not putting it into the atmosphere, but I realize that just because I have a way doesn't mean it's everyone else's way. I'm just looking for somebody that's around the area of my way. That's what I mean by that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Listen, if you're a Republican, talk about take those babies out of the mama's hands and the hell with them, we probably not gonna get along.
Well,
we in two different.
It kind of goes. It kind of goes to what Tweet was saying too. Like if you look for problems,
that's it.
Yeah, of course.
Eventually, you're gonna find a problem.
That's true.
Right.
And even though he may not even be the problem,
yes,
you're gonna make something up in your head.
Yes.
Right.
And manifest it, and then it's gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? That you actually created.
Right.
Has that happened to you, brothers?
Yes.
Has that happened to you in past relationships?
Yes.
That's the point of this conversation.
Yes.
It certainly happened to me.
Man Cave Morning Show, beating on the chest.
But you know what?
Call in, ladies.
But you know what, though?
Yourself.
We talk about all the different aspects of a relationship, right? And one thing that we say it, but we don't practice it when we're in that moment.
How
like
so?
For instance, we all talk about to be human is to be imperfect, right?
Go ahead.
We use that like now, we'll talk about that right now, but when we're in an imperfect situation, we don't take into consideration we're dealing with imperfect humans.
Right.
We don't take that. So what we do is we attack the moment and the person right then. Right then. You know what I mean? Like if you're arguing about something as silly as you made a left turn and now we're going to be 10 minutes late. All right, we could talk about now like, yeah, you know, everybody imperfect. You know what I'm saying? But now when we're in that situation, we don't put that in perspective that, hey, it's an imperfect situation. Let's not blow this up. Let's just move on to the next situation. And that goes across the board with a female that's suffering from something in the past or a guy. We do not give credit. We give credit in our conversation to that we're imperfect, but we don't put that in practice when the imperfect situations come up.
Okay.
I think that respect and maturity is key for this type of thing. Let me give you an example. Norm is my friend.
And I'm not.
And you are as well. Norm is also my boss. Do you know there are times when Norm has had to approach me as my boss and say some stuff to me that I didn't want to hear? Did I feel attacked? Yes. Because that's what we do. When somebody says something you don't want to hear, you automatically feel attacked. But what was the next thought in my head? Do I respect Norm? Is he my boss? So after the rah, right? Out of the respect, look, I shut my mouth and listen. So what I'm saying is sometimes sisters don't respect. Not all sisters, spare me, but we gonna talk today. If you don't respect the person that you're communicating with, see, this is what I'm talking about. We're not going. I've been on vacation.
I can go.
You know what I mean? So I'm charged up now.
A lot of places with
that. You dig what I'm saying? I'm clear. But eat my beet juice. If a sister does not respect a person because she's so stuck in her past, or if a man does, but we ain't talking about men. I understand that we're human beings. I'm talking about from a male perspective in relationships. D, hey Dawood, this is how you need to lose weight. I'm so sensitive about my weight. I'm not going to listen to the advice of a master trainer. That's what I'm talking about with sisters. Talk to that.
The power of respect is so important.
Yeah, no, you're right.
In a relationship, because look, it goes to the simplest thing. Think about it. If you don't respect your mate, you're gonna walk in the house 3, 4 in the morning.
See?
Not give them a call and tell them you're coming in the house 3 and 4 in the morning.
Hey,
I don't need to call you. Why do I need to call you?
Right.
If you don't respect your mate, you're gonna walk in the house and have a big plate of food and eat and drink right in front of them or whatever, and your mate's like, did you get me something to eat?
Right.
Or something to drink, or did you think about calling me and asking me if I wanted something? Well, I didn't think I needed to. You know how to cook. You can get your own food.
Fellas, have you ever heard that?
Now, think about
Just
this.
asking.
This all has to do with respect. This all has to do with respect. Respect is a big thing. Let me go back to the whole boss thing you said. We're going to change that word boss because you know I hate being called boss.
Yes, sir.
So,
you ain't my boss.
Team leader.
All
That's
right. The leader.
The new word.
Oh, fine. The team leader. Go ahead. Speak
Okay,
on
I
it.
could go with that.
Team leader.
I'll go with that.
Not even leader.
Team leader.
Team
Okay.
leader.
All right. Team leader.
I hate
Go
the
ahead.
word boss. Always did.
But team leader.
So
addressing an issue.
Yeah, addressing the issue. It goes into your workplace too. If you don't respect your coworker,
right,
you're gonna do whatever. So in other words, you're gonna step on their toes.
Yep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna value their opinion on how to do something,
right?
Or a different, better way to do something, even though you know it's better. But I don't respect them, so why should I care what they say? And then somebody else may say the same thing they said, but because you don't respect that person, you're gonna take it from the other person.
Yes, sir.
You feel me?
Right.
So that's respect. You don't respect your boss or your team leader, you're gonna come to work at 10:30 when you're supposed to be at work at 9 o'clock.
Right.
Right.
Same thing. Because I don't respect my boss or my team leader or whatever like that.
And communication is not just you talking.
I'm gonna take a 3-hour lunch. Because I don't respect my boss.
Well, then goes
or
that's
my
the
job,
other, right?
Or whatever. So respect is so important. To me, that's more important than anything else.
Yeah, you're right, man. Because
for men, it's respect, then love.
Yes.
For men, it's respect and then love, ladies.
But
I'm telling you.
But in communication, right? In communication, when the respect is not so much the talking, it's the listening. That's that's the respect part of the communication, because anybody can put words together and make a sentence. But when you are talking to your mate and your mate's talking back to you, one of the things I had to learn to perfect was I had to learn to listen, because I'm a talker. And when you are a talker, a lot of times you're only thinking about what's in your head, the words. So what I had to learn is I had to learn to start listening. And when I started listening, whether I completely agreed with what was being said or not, I was able to dissect and take what was being said from the talker to me and apply it to me, the listener, as what in reference to what's being said to me. Because I had to learn to listen. And I'm actually finding that the more I listen, the more relieved I am.
A good listener communicates more through their actions.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally
a good listener communicates more through their actions. You know, and that's funny that you said that, because a lot of times people would just want to just get their point across, and get their point across, and not trying to hear nobody else's point. And then sometimes, and one thing my mother always taught me: shut up sometimes and just listen.
Yeah, man. My mother used to say the same to me.
You know what? I believe in karma, right? So let me be forthright. You know, my mouth has gotten to me into so much trouble in the past, and I have not listened and talked over people and used my verbal abilities to abuse people. So now what's happening in my life is coming back to me. When I became aware of what I was doing and I made a decision to change, I can now see how the damage that I have done, right? So I don't want to just be, I'm on a rah-rah, I'm on the attack. But what I will also say is that I have changed. I'm not the same person that I used to be, but I understand that I got what's coming to me.
Right.
Do you dig what I'm saying?
Right.
But what happens after I get what comes to me? What happens after I've learned the lesson? What happens after my character has changed to the upwardly mobile position? Listen, if you're not listening to a person, that's not communication.
Right.
So how can you be in a relationship where your presence annoys a person, or the fact that you have something to say annoys a person? Like as the boss comes in and talks. That's not communication. Communication goes in the back and the forth. You can't make a decision to decide how you feel about it if you're not listening, if you're so triggered and so on edge. Right? And if I don't respect your opinion, I know that you don't respect mine. I can feel it.
Let me read.
By the way you treat
Anthony Williams, I was reading that.
Yeah, Anthony Williams said most people don't listen to understand, they listen to respond.
So true, brother.
And that's true. And
true.
Let me tell you, you could listen all day, right? Just like when you're in class, right? You can listen to your teacher. But if you don't comprehend what your teacher is saying, you never what? You're never going to learn.
Never learn.
Right.
You're never going to learn. So comprehension is very important. You know what I'm saying? Like I could talk to you, you know, me and you know, my wife going through a problem, whatever. I could talk to her all day. Like, babe, you know, you need to such, we need to do this more, we need to do this or whatever like that. And if it's all just like, okay, I'm hearing you, but, you know, I ain't fully understanding what you're saying. If she's not really comprehending, then what's going to happen? The same old thing is just going to keep happening with us, because she ain't really trying to change because she's not hearing me. I'm not trying to change. My actions are still going to be the same because I'm not hearing what you're saying.
Your actions don't reflect the fact that you've listened.
Yeah. And it's important in a relationship to really listen, you know. And sometimes you have to listen. Hear me when I say this. You have to listen to what's not being said too.
Right.
You have to listen to what's not being said.
Right.
Because sometimes when things are not said, you know, somebody's speaking loudly to you.
Yeah, that's true.
You feel me?
That's true.
Well said, sir. And
you go ahead.
No, go ahead, D. Go ahead.
You know, you had made a comment about comprehension. And I mean, I guess it depends on the person that's delivering the message. Like, you know, You said when you and your wife are talking, and you was using that as an example.
Right.
If you guys are talking and she doesn't comprehend something, where do you take the responsibility to look at a way to communicate that they can't comprehend? Because I say that because a lot of times what we do as men, we get frustrated. I've been here. I've gotten frustrated.
Definitely frustrated, sir.
I've gotten frustrated because I'm like, yo, I'm talking to you, sir, and you don't understand that I wouldn't say that or I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But I had to pull back and learn that don't mean that my mate is dumb or stupid. It don't mean that. It just means that the way that I need to find a way to communicate in her language is the difference between me walking away and throwing up my hands and possibly ruining a good relationship, or just finding a way to communicate better.
Right.
Or deliver better.
How dare you to pull this conversation into another direction about my responsibility as a listener and a communicator?
Right.
I thought I was going to come in here and just black out on folks.
But you know what? We got to do that, because I'm telling you I'm saying this because I've lived this in the past.
Yes,
I'm telling you, when somebody didn't comprehend what I was saying, I was out. And as what I realized is that I built a pattern for myself not to have the tolerance to try to explain or talk to someone in a way that they could understand what I was saying. And, a lot of us say we got older. I don't know if that's the case for me. I just think that I just got to a point where I started realizing, what if it was me that didn't comprehend her? What if it was me? Would she explain that to me in a way?
Here's a person that doesn't listen to you. This is a person that don't listen to you. You know what, sweetie? There's a lot you can learn. There's a lot you can learn, from if you just such and such and such and such.
Right.
And then the response is, you know what? There's a lot you can learn if you just such and such and such and such.
Speak on it.
That's a person.
Fellas, has a woman ever said that to you?
That's not trying to listen to you.
I'm just saying.
And not trying to hear you. And really don't respect your thoughts and feelings. I'm just saying. It's the truth.
That was a good point.
And so, well said, sir.
Okay, so everything I say to you about how I'm feeling, you throw right back at me.
That's a classic technique.
So you didn't hit me with a solution. You didn't hit me with a productive response. Hear how I said that? A productive response. You hit me with the same thing I just hit you with, because you don't want to try to take the time to understand what I was saying to you.
And you know what? That's a powerful point that Norm made. So, if that was ever said to me, the man I am now, I'll probably say something like, you know what, you're right. And not to say it to shut him up, but I'd be like, you know what, you're right. A lot I probably could learn if I was to listen. But right now, that's why we're talking. I can listen to you and you can listen to me.
Let me take the inverse of what D said, all right, about not listening. Okay, I'm gonna take it into the opposite.
Shout out to Nikki.
Into the opposite direction.
What's up?
Because I practice now listening. So if you were the person that left, I was the opposite. I was the person that stayed too long, right? Because my self-esteem said I don't deserve any better, or I shouldn't be. You're right. I shouldn't be listened to.
Right.
Now that I've understood my value, right, and now that I don't have low self-esteem, so I don't have to use my mouth to attack people. I don't do that anymore, right? The other side of it is now that I'm recognizing this may be a time to leave because I'm not being listened to, because I have value and I understand that this person doesn't value me. Now, why doesn't the person value me? The person doesn't value me because they were in an abusive relationship. Am I patient? Do I understand that? Of course. But there's a finite time to that. I am patient. I do recognize that people have passed, as do I. But from the male perspective, Man Cave Morning Show, we talking to women about understanding that they can push a decent joker away, right? Which is what we talk about on the show all the time, right? So if I'm bringing something to the table, right, hear what I'm saying, because I do work on listening. I chant I'm not perfect, but that whole, well, you do too. You said it too. I'm tired too. I'm hungry too. Mrs. Me too. Right? That's going to drive me away. So it's not that I'm being impatient or insensitive or not aware of what the person is doing, what happened to them in their past. I'm saying I have to value myself enough to know that this person doesn't respect where I'm coming from. I mean, respect me to even listen. You don't have to agree.
You know what?
You don't have to agree.
But
hear me first.
Exactly. I'm gonna say this without nobody taking offense. No, ladies, I don't want you to take offense or whatever. But I see a lot of women that I think are good women that are lonely and single, and when you talk about body count and all this, I'm not trying to go there.
I'll talk about body count.
No, but I'm just saying, when you talk about body count and all this, and the reason why the body count may be so high and you're still trying to find Mr. Right is because you have poor listening skills. And you have poor skills of understanding the person you're trying to be with. All right. And so if you don't understand something, anytime you don't understand something, or you're not trying to comprehend what the person is saying, whatever, like that, what happens? The relationship is going to deteriorate. It's going to fall apart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like a lot of, miscommunication and lack of communication and not listening and understanding your mate, this is cancer to the death of what could possibly be a good relationship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And a lot of women won't, sometimes you gotta forget about being right all the time. Forget about trying to be right all the time.
Yep.
Forget about trying to win an argument all the time, right? Forget about just having your way all the time, because we got to know this. When you're in a relationship, it's about what? Compromise.
Right.
It's not about just having your way.
Right.
You do give up some certain things when you enter into a relationship, and basically you only give up your entire point of view.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All the times it's like, now you're in a relationship, you're sharing yourself with someone or whatever like that. So you have to be compassionate, you have to be understanding and sympathetic to the other person's feelings. And sometimes y'all lose sight of that. And when I see these women that still talking about they're lonely, or they don't have a man, or I'm good all by myself, when you're really not, because we all were meant to be with someone.
Yes, sir.
That's just how we were designed.
Sir. That's correct.
So stop fooling yourself by saying I'm good all by myself.
Because you're lying.
We're not designed that way. All right. So you know what I'm saying? If you at a certain point in your life and you still haven't found that one, or you still constantly keep searching and you're increasing your body count or whatever like that, I'm being honest. I'm trying to have some real adult conversation.
You're right. Just talk about that.
You need to do a self-check and a self-evaluation of what's going on with you. What are you not doing? And stop pointing the finger all the time, because when I speak to a lot of women that are single, whatever like that, they always pointing the finger at the other person. So I'm like, okay, so you don't take no accountability into the fact that you're single, or you're lonely or whatever like that. You got to take some accountability and examine yourself. That's all I'm saying.
If there's a sister that caught offense to what that man just said, be offended, because he gave it to you as kindly, with compassion as he could, right? If I would have said it, right, with hostility and venom and stuff like that, right, then people will use the excuse, well, I don't have to listen to what Dawood says because he's so hostile. I like intelligent, independent women. One of their pitfalls is they don't listen, number one. Number two, how did I begin to get out of this I'm right and you're wrong and nah, blah, 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 blah? My practice taught me there's no right, there's no wrong, it just is. When I started to get into the mindset, it's just is, meaning, no one got an opinion, I got an opinion. Do we agree? Do we disagree? And then the last thing I say is, what's right? Guess what? If there's an opinion that I initially disagreed with, but it is now right. When I say it just is, that divorces me from my emotion and gives me the ability to say I'm going to change. That's why people don't change, even though they know they're wrong and this way is right, because they're attached emotionally. Their pride, my pride, my ego, so y'all don't catch feelings. Y'all people that's too soft to hear what I'm saying, I put it on myself. Why can't I change? In the light of the truth. If the truth is there, that's what I want. So the truth is more important than how I feel. A lot of times, people stick on them feelings instead of that truth. Last thing, what if you are a person with one of these strong independent and got to deliver some news that's unpleasant? What if you got to talk about a character flaw? Can you even approach the subject without the person feeling like they're being attacked?
No doubt.
Huh?
No doubt.
What if I say, hey, you got some issues with your anger, or hey, you may have some issues with some alcoholic? The person becomes so defensive, right? And they run to their other shrew single women who are single because of the same reason, and they feed on themselves instead of saying, wait a minute.
Right.
Though he's loud, though he cusses, the boy telling the truth.
Right.
And I want the truth. Do women?
I respect the truth.
I was just about to say the same thing. No,
I got to have it, even though I don't like it.
I respect it
too.
I got to have the truth, man.
And
so I can change and do better.
Norm had said something very, very powerful about good women being alone. And although I really, I'm kind of like an advocate for women, because I guess my mother was single when I was growing up, and I had 3 sisters in the house. So when I say I'm an advocate for women, that don't mean that a woman can just act any kind of way. But I'm an advocate because I understand some of the things that women face, like the brokenness of a woman, especially our black women. The brokenness of our women, you gotta have a certain mindset and a certain spirit to be able to take that on. That's a very big responsibility when you are dealing with a woman that is broken. And even though when women are broken, if you break your leg, you don't walk on that leg, you hop on the other one. So when a woman is broken, her feelings are the same way. The feelings that she needs and wants to deal with, she's hurting. So she hops off on the other feeling of, I don't need anybody.
Right.
Forget you. I'm good by myself. That's a hop off. Because Norm said it best. We are all designed to be with somebody. But until a woman learns, and women, please don't think I'm bashing you. I'm advocates for you. But until a woman, not all women, a woman learns that your self-analyzation is your greatest gift and your greatest power to be able to acquire anything you want. Not just from a man. I mean, that's great too.
Self-actualization, yes.
Yes, to be able to look at yourself. To be able to look at yourself and say, this is what I need to do for me. Not to get a man, but this is what I need to do for me. And then when you take it to that level, now you're open to be able to receive or to be poured into. That's my favorite thing I like to say. When I was out here single, ripping and running, I wasn't pouring into women. I was getting into them, but I wasn't pouring into them.
Right.
When I got my relationship, I decided I was going to pour into someone.
Absolutely.
I had decided I was going to pour into someone, because once you pour into somebody, it gives you a totally different aspect, not just of who you're pouring into, but who you are.
No doubt. Shout out to Lucretia. What's up, Lioness?
Hey,
Ross?
What's up?
Yeah, I'm back.
Somebody calling in, too.
Going to hit you up. And shout out to Joanne Dykes on this. What's up, cuz? Caller from the 908. State your name when you calling from. You on the Man Cave Morning Show.
What's going on, fellas? Long time. Pie Lady, how are you?
Hey. Welcome to the show, Pie Lady.
Pie Lady.
What's good?
Okay, Norm, here's my question. Yes, I believe that human beings are designed to interact and depend on human beings. And I also believe that male and females were designed to come together to reproduce, because we can't reproduce without each other. But where does that draw the line that you have to be with a mate for all of your life in order to survive? We're not whales. We don't do things by instinct. We do things by thought, and we do things by what works for us. And so why does it automatically not work for a woman, or why does she have to be lying, or why does she have to be not telling the truth when she says, I'm good as a single woman? That doesn't mean that she doesn't have a relationship. That doesn't mean she decides to be single.
You want to answer that?
Go ahead. We can all take this one. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got something.
If I can just chime in on what you just said when you said you believe that human interaction and, you know, that human beings are brought together for procreation or to reproduce. Well, it depends on, and I'm saying this depend on what you're looking at, because if you really think about it, we can drill ourselves into a train of thought. We can push ourselves into a path that we think a certain way, and one of the things that I think that I might be missing is that has a heart, and I'm not talking about a heart that pumps blood, I'm talking about a spiritual heart, doesn't want to connect with someone spiritually, or gets to a point where they feel like they don't need that connection. If you have a heart, a spiritual heart, and I'm not talking about a spiritual heart that reads the Bible, I'm talking about a spiritual heart that connects your mind, your body, and your soul. Once you connect those together, then you are more than likely going to want to connect with someone else that's in the same frame of heart.
Okay, but here's my question. Here's the thing. You all are conflating that to me. That connection can only be made with a mate that you travel with or you commit to for the rest of your life.
No.
None of us said
that. None of us said that.
You made a statement that we talk ourselves into believing things. You said that, correct?
Yes, I did.
So my question for you is, how many years of male patriarchy that you all have not talked yourself into believing that a woman is not whole unless she has you?
That's not.
How long have you talked that and promoted that?
A man is not whole unless he has a good woman.
Say.
I don't want to go.
Same thing.
I'm not going male and female. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want to go that way. I want you to understand that the same level of talking into a belief that you're saying women are using to say that we're pretty fine in this society without having a mate is the same level of talking to you that you all have decided that a woman is not fine, or she's not whole, or she must be missing something.
I would like to respond to that.
She's not spiritually connected or she's lying to herself. We do need each other.
I would like to respond to that.
Humans need each other.
I would like to respond to that.
Okay, go ahead.
This is what I'm talking about. A man and a woman who desire to be in a relationship together and be monogamous. So let me just qualify that. Of course I know that there's some men and some women that don't want to be in a relationship or are whole or whatever. I'm not saying that because I'm saying what I'm saying, right? That I believe that all women are lying and they can't be whole. No, I'm talking about a man that desires to be in a relationship with a woman and monogamous, and a woman that desires the same. So if you got a woman that desires this, right? If that's what she desires, but it's not working. Now we're beginning to talk about why. If you tell me who you are, I believe you. I don't need no man. I'm whole. Fine. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that a lot of men and women want to be in a relationship,
right?
But they don't work. Well, now why? We take it from the female, from the male. I understand male patriarchy and abuse of women and all that. But the Man Cave Morning Show dictates that men who desire to be in a relationship and monogamous with another woman, because we're saying that that's what makes us whole. That's the conversation. If that doesn't make you whole, let me just finish.
Okay,
if that doesn't make you, let me just finish the point.
Go ahead.
If that doesn't make you whole, that's not the conversation we're having.
Right.
Because I know there are other people in the world
that
and
don't feel that
other
way.
Perspective.
That don't feel that way.
I'm talking about two people with like minds that are trying to work it and it don't work.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, going back to what Norm.
But that's what you said.
Now, Norm said. Norm said we are all designed. We are all designed to be with someone, to want to be with someone. right? That's what Norm said.
What do you
No,
mean by
listen.
want to be with someone?
Listen.
This is the point I'm saying.
I'm trying to
Does
tell you.
Someone.
Well, let him
Yeah,
tell you what he means before you respond.
Yeah. So
what do you mean by
we are all designed
question
to be with someone? So we all created, right? So notice I said someone. So I'm not even putting it on man and woman, whatever.
Yeah, because it
could be a woman and a woman.
Yeah, it could be
man
gay.
and man, whatever.
Let him explain.
Exactly.
We are all designed to have a mate. Nobody's designed.
I'm riding with you on that.
Nobody's designed to ride this earth by themselves.
I'm riding with you.
We're not
on
designed that way.
That's correct.
Whether relationships don't work.
That's
Listen.
correct.
Can I get my point out, Pie Lady?
No, I'm trying to understand. I'm not complaining. I'm trying to say. So
Well,
what I'm
finish
saying,
your point.
you're specifically
No,
saying
I'm gonna let
we're
her
designed for a mate.
Huh?
You're specifically saying we're designed for a mate.
Absolutely.
He's right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, for
Okay,
him,
so
for
now
me,
how
and for
do you
him.
calculate, okay, if we're specifically designed for a mate, how do you calculate the disparity in birth rates, which makes it so that in a lot of societies, women outnumber men? So for the idea that for one woman to have one mate throughout her life, it is statistically and numerically impossible.
Tell me
But
how-
he didn't say. But
tell
he
me how
didn't
that's-
say one mate.
Tell me how that's not a false.
But he didn't. He didn't say
'Cause
one
that's
mate.
not the
He said
parameter
a
of what
mate.
we're talking about. Listen. The fact that I understand that women that are more women than there are more men. I know that. The fact that there's patriarchy and male abuse and all that other stuff, I know that. What's germane to this conversation? What's germane is this man believes that he needs to be with a woman, and the woman and the woman that he's with believes the same thing. Are there other people that feel differently? Yes. Of course I understand that.
I'm trying to understand Norman's perspective, and I believe that he is able, and we are able to have this conversation without it being summed up. I am specifically addressing one aspect
She's
that
talking
he
about
said,
the one mate.
and that is the idea that if a woman says she does not need a man, she is lying because
He never
we
said
were
that.
designed
He never
to
said
be in
that. He
relationships
never
with
said
each
that.
other. And
I think I was the
agree
closest
that
one
we
to
are
saying that.
designed to
No,
be in
I did.
relationships
He
with
didn't
each
say
other.
that.
He didn't say that. I
didn't
said
say that,
closely we lied to ourselves. We lied to
That's a
I'm
ourselves.
talking about what Norm said.
No,
what did
Norm
he
didn't say that.
Norm
I did.
says he didn't say that.
He didn't
So-
say that.
No,
I did.
Norm, go back to what you said, which made the phone call. You said that women say that they don't need a man, and they're lying to themselves because we were designed to be in relationships with each other.
I don't remember you
And
saying
I agree that we're designed to be in relationships with each other. There's nothing that I can do without human interaction from other human beings. I absolutely concede to that. But my question is, does that relationship necessarily mean that you have to have a mate? Are we conflating that to a mate? Or can it just be really relationships and all? Nobody should be an island. But doesn't mean that I'm not successful or that I'm lying to myself that says, I don't think I necessarily need to be snoring next to the same person every night to be successful. I'm not saying I don't want to be in relationships with people. But I don't think that I'm not whole because I say at this point I don't want to have one person snoring next to me every night.
Okay,
That's not what I want to do.
So let me tell you, right? If you lived your whole life by yourself and you came home by yourself and all of that, and you did everything by yourself, and you went out to dinner by yourself, and that was your whole existence, everything by yourself. What do you think that would do for your mental state, for your mental health?
I don't.
Right?
So here's the deal. When you say once again, you're
so I said
conflating.
someone.
What does
So
by
listen, no,
yourself mean?
listen, because you taking my words, you moving it into a different direction, right? So I said someone. This is why I didn't even put a gender on it. I said someone. I didn't put marriage on it either. You didn't notice I didn't say marriage, or whatever like
well,
that.
That's why I'm asking you to explain what you mean by relationship.
And I did.
That's why I asked
I
you
did
that.
earlier.
And you said mate.
I actually did explain it earlier. You were talking over me.
You said
I did
mate,
try to,
correct? You said mate, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I did hear you. I wasn't talking over you. I heard you. I asked you to explain what you mean by relationship, and you said a mate.
Let me ask something.
But I'm going to move on. I got to move on because
I want
to address. Yeah, I want to address some other comments in the chat, and everything. But no, I mean, I appreciate you calling in, whatever. But what
Real
we're
quick,
going to
is she in a
start
relationship?
doing, what we're going to start doing in the future, we're going to let each other get our points out. That's why I shut up.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Norm, you're thinking I didn't hear you. I heard everything you said.
Are you in a relationship, Pine Lady? Are you in a relationship?
I'm in several relationships.
No, I'm talking about the relationship that a man and a woman, you know, you get it in with somebody on a regular basis. Let's just straighten that out.
Do you mean do I have sex?
No. Do you have a man? Do you have a man?
Do you have a boyfriend?
Yes.
Do I have a boyfriend?
Yes.
Man friend.
Man friend.
Engaged.
I'm playing with words right now. Huh?
I have several friends.
Okay.
So then you are justifying. Let
Am
me
I
stop.
any kind of monogamous, exclusive relationship with anybody? No. Am I
Then you're
sitting
just
in the
not a
house by
monogamous
myself,
person.
twiddling
You're just not a
myself with
monogamous.
myself? No.
You're just not a monogamous person, and that's your choice. But we choose to be
No,
monogamous men.
Yeah,
No,
we're
that's
talking
not
about
what
people
that's
that.
not. See, you're conflating it to monogamy. That's not what I said.
Oh,
I
well,
didn't say I'm
yeah, I'm
sleeping
gonna
around
shut
with
up.
100,000 different people.
No, you
I
said
just
several.
said that I'm in several relationships.
All
Now,
right.
it depends on how you define relationship.
Several mean more
If
than
you
one.
define
Several mean more than
relationship
one.
as-
Monogamous
I'm in a
means
relationship-
one.
I'm in a
Play
relationship
on play.
with
Play a
children.
week.
Play
I'm
on
in a
play.
relationship with
We
my
see you,
coworkers.
player.
I'm in a
We
relationship
see
with
you.
myself.
I give you the
Too.
sun, moon, and the stars, baby. I give you the sun, moon, and the stars.
I give you the
see you,
sun
player.
and
I see you,
moon.
player.
Y'all crazy.
Player, we gonna have to move on, player, because
I love y'all. I
Love you back.
y'all.
Love you back.
love you too. Wow.
Yo,
She said several. She tried to clean
Try
that
to clean
up.
that up.
what the hell do several mean?
But
More than one.
exactly.
Monogamous
Several is-
means one.
I want
several
to.
is more than three.
I want to
hell?
address.
That was good though. Good call.
Shawanda Ward.
I saw that too.
She said, "I would love to be with someone, but too much
game
game playing these days."
Yes,
She-
yes,
Go back.
yes.
She said something earlier. She said, "This is what I need to do for me, loving me. I decided to stay single for now."
Right.
See, that's a decision based on sometimes you need that chill time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need that time to just woo-sah or whatever, collect yourself, gather your thoughts, get to know yourself better and to love yourself better, and then go into a relationship. But one thing I did not say, Shawanda, Shawanda did not say she didn't want a relationship.
No, she did not say that.
And see,
She
I'm
did not
quite
say
sure,
that.
Shawanda, I'm quite sure you would love to be in a relationship. But right now, you're giving yourself some space.
A mature, successful relationship.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying.
I wanted to go back to something that D said. I might as well shoot myself in the head with the grief I might get. D said something key. He said there are some people, not all people, not you, but there are some people that talk themselves into justifying bad behavior. That's what that boy said.
Yes.
That's what he said.
Yes.
You can justify any lifestyle and any decision with some words and a thesaurus. Listen, bad behavior, right? And you can deconstruct everything when people try to get close to you.
Right.
Well, what does this mean? What does that mean? How come this and how come that? What we're talking about are people that have examined themselves and desire to be in a relationship and to be monogamous, not someone
Hold
that's
on,
not.
Linus.
And finally,
Hello.
and Linus,
Hello.
Hold on, Linus.
One second.
and
Hold on 1 second.
there are people, right, that are not in successful relationships because they're not addressing their character flaws.
Yes.
And
yes.
they justify that by this new paradigm shit. Well, it's just what it is. It's just what it is. Listen. Let me tell you something. My daddy whooped my mama, and I'ma whoop your ass. Because that's what I saw. And it's my truth. And you just go ahead and need to live with that. Listen. I need to be with more than one person.
Exactly.
That's what D was saying.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
Exactly.
That's what he was saying.
Welcome to the show. What's up, Linus?
Hi, yo. Welcome back, Norm. Hello, fellas.
Hey.
Linus.
Hey, what's
Listen,
good?
I forgot the damn question. It was going on so long. I was like, damn, I forgot what the question was. But anyways, I say this to say this. As a woman that knows a lot of, speak to a lot of men that are single that's looking for relationships or want to be in a relationship, as well as women that want to be in a relationship. You have the ones that don't want to be.
Right.
And so I would say this, you have people that have been in relationships that have been hurt or scored.
Yes.
And now every man or every woman can't nobody be trusted. That is not true.
Right.
That is some person that is scored inside and needs to deal with, the issue they just went through, because you're never going to find another great mate if everything that, what you went through with this past person, you're going to keep bringing that issue up. You're never going to have a great relationship. Or no basis, woman nor man. I don't feel as though a man doesn't dominate a woman just like a man doesn't, vice versa. Everything has to be equal, but the man has to be the king to lead. Just as the queen has to be there to make sure that her man is taken care of 100%. But a whole lot of issues back and forth and arguing and talk about what you had in the past and why you don't do this that way. My mama cooked like this. Why you can't cook like my mama? You know what? Go back to mama. Oh, why you can't treat me like my daddy did? You know what? Go back to your daddy. You gotta respect the person for who you are when you meet them. Leave all the drama behind and move ahead and work it out together and stop the bitching. That's on women and men.
Yes,
Say that.
You know what? You know what, Linus? You need your own show on BKS1 Radio.
At Wednesdays. You need to be on Wednesdays at 5:30.
She has one already.
Wednesdays at 5:30.
We got a slot open Wednesday from 5 to 7.
5 to 7. That's right.
Is that right? You don't say.
But you know what? As she was talking, she made me think about something, right? Like, and I always do my lives. I air out the man I was. I keep it 100. Before I was in the relationship I'm in now. You know how I was able to transition and even be ready for my relationship? I had to fall back for a little bit on that moving around thing. That moving around thing, you know what I mean? Because once I fell back, I was able to discover I wasn't like turning and tossing in the bed like, oh, I need somebody. I wasn't doing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But once I made a decision like, yo, look, man, you can't continue to keep on, going to the store buying condoms and, let's talk straight. You can't continue to keep going, buying condoms. You need somebody you can trust where you can just be on some straight up, lovey-dovey stuff, moving to the next level.
Right.
So when my relationship came, it came not like, oh, I found this person, I'm going to be in a relationship. I was prepared for the relationship. I was prepared for it. So when I got myself prepared for the relationship, everything went the way it was supposed to go. It's still going the way it's supposed to go. And that's why y'all see me posting Facebook pictures that I've never posted before with me and my baby. That's why.
And keep that. A lot of people put too much of their personal self and personal emotions up there and say, "Stay out of my business." Well, if you wouldn't put your business up, everybody wouldn't be in it.
Yeah, you're right about that.
My thing is just none of us are perfect. Nobody is perfect, and there's no marriage relationship. There's nothing perfect. It's things that you have to work on if you really want it.
Yeah,
and that's right. Just it. It's not that this person ain't shit. You don't know what these people have been through together behind those closed doors. You just don't know. So I don't judge people on their relationships. I really don't care about nobody else's relationship. As long as it don't involve mine, I'm good with you.
Right.
Exactly. And I'm glad you said that.
I'm so glad she said that too.
You gotta go in. Let me tell you something. When you enter into a new relationship, you gotta go in with fresh thoughts.
That's it.
Fresh thoughts.
That's it.
You
brother.
cannot go in there.
That's it.
With dirty laundry from the past. You know what I'm saying? Like with all these thoughts from what happened to you before or whatever like that. You gotta treat it brand spanking new. And a lot of people
if you don't, that poison just carries over, and that person like, I'm not dealing with you. You're not even finished with your other relationship. Exactly. Or that's probably why that other person left you.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Exactly. I've seen so many people carry baggage in from other relationships, man, and it's so, like you said, it's so toxic and it's so damaging before the relationship gets started. You can't even get to a good start because you're bringing in everything from the past and you're looking at this guy a certain way because of what the other guy did to you, whatever. Like that. I gotta stop. Women gotta stop doing that.
Right, that's
Men too, but women gotta stop.
But women,
Newsflash.
Talking about women.
Newsflash. These are three men that are introspective. We talk. We pray, we meditate, we do a lot of things to correct ourselves and to go higher. However, when you're dealing with a relationship, that's more than one person. So today we're dealing on the aspect of something that we've noticed in failed relationships, right? So when you try to get to an issue and then it gets turned back to, well, you do this and you do that and this why. This is the Man Cave Morning Show. That means we're offering to the world the perspective and of a man and how we see it. That does not mean we don't respect other opinions.
Right.
But a lot of times,
no, like you said, it's for the people. It's understandable. But when you're voicing your opinions too, like the young lady that just called in, she said a whole lot of everything. I got lost. I forgot what the question was until I started talking with y'all. And then she really killed it when she said she got multiple relationships. I'm like, damn, okay. First, she didn't want to answer that. Then I'm saying, how many? I was like, they're a mess. But the thing is, if a woman here, a man, like Dawood, you were just, speaking your voice, then they want to call in with their opinions. Everybody has an experience somewhere that they done went through. Everybody. If you ever been in a relationship, you'd have been, whether you've been married or not, we all went through something that has tarnished us and make us feel like I put up a block wall. I'll just block it out because you don't want to be hurt no more. But you can't think that everybody that you meet or every woman is against you or this not the person or she's not perfect. No, we're not perfect. So it's just, are you willing to work it out? Are you willing to move forward? Leave it alone.
See, and a big thing too that a lot of us got to deal with when we get into a new relationship, and especially a relationship that we want to be, have longevity. It's like a lot of us have to learn acceptance of the person.
That's it.
Of the person that we chose to be with. Acceptance of who they are.
Right.
And the problem comes when we want to change things just to be in control.
Right.
And some of the things we want to change be the good things about that person.
Right. Yes.
That
make them who they are.
Just because we want to control that whole situation.
Right.
Why don't you be more like this? Well, I don't like it when you're so nice to everybody. You're so this.
Why you not like so and so girl? Or why you not like so and so man? That's not. If you want to be with that person, go over there. Go be with them. I am who I am. If there's things that I got to work on to better myself in a relationship, then you work on those things to change for each other. Not just because I want you to change this, but then you're not changing anything because that's not fair.
And real quick, the older I got. And when I started getting into relationships, the older I got, and as I matured, I just really started wanting a person that just treats me good and respects me. Right. So all the other character traits that they may have, them flaws or whatever like that, nobody's perfect. And once I started saying to myself, I don't expect her to be perfect, but I just expect her to be perfect,
supportive, loving, respectful.
Yes,
that's right. But before I get off this line, I want to leave y'all with something funny. Most people that's not in I ain't saying all. Listen to me, not all. But if you know anyone that's not in a relationship and they constantly mad, whether it's man or woman, it's because they ain't getting none. So if you go get some, you might calm down a little bit. That's for men anyway. Stop talking about everybody in the world is bad and they ain't shit. No, go get some and you'll be smiling the next day. That's what I'm talking about.
But that's temporary too.
You know what?
That's temporary too.
But you know what? If I can just say this right here.
That's like a drug.
She made a point about changing for the relationship, and that's one aspect, and it's a great aspect. But there's something that I said to Robin. I said, if I change for myself because I know I need to change, then the benefit of me changing for myself benefits us both, not just the relationship. It benefits us both.
I can see the change in you, bro. I can see the change in you.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I got to co-sign that.
Light shine.
Okay. Y'all gonna stop blowing me up and about my emotions on the Man Cave show. Y'all gonna get off the subject.
No, for real, you can see that light in you. She's that light on you.
Definitely
you always been a great man, but I remember a show you had before a while ago, and you was talking about the women, that you dated multiple women, whatever. You were saying you can do what you want to do. But when that light shines on you more than ever now since I've been knowing you.
Yeah.
And that's for real.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a difference.
That's a difference.
Yeah,
that's why I said, get some.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Thanks for calling into the show. I'm gonna hit you up after the show.
Okay, I gotta talk with you too. All right,
sweetie.
There was a question
Love
you too. There was a question she asked. She said, "What was the question, or what was the statement?"
Right.
And an hour and a half ago, we read the statement.
Right.
Who you talking to? Me or your past relationship? And that's the nexus of the conversation. Who are you talking to? If you're not talking to me, then you can't be in a relationship with me.
Yeah,
that's
right.
the genesis
That's
of the
right.
conversation.
Yeah.
And we go here,
Yeah.
we go there, we go here, we go there. These are 3 heterosexual men who want to be in a relationship with a heterosexual woman and be monogamous. Okay.
Right.
Did everyone just hear what I just said?
Right.
Please, for the last hour. That being said, now you have men reflecting on why sometimes relationships didn't work. And we're talking about the feminine perspective from our side.
Right.
We do talk about what men do and all that other stuff.
Right.
We're saying that women in our past, not all women, but women have the inability to listen and to see the man that they are with because they are stuck in the past and the abuse of a past relationship. So you're not going to hear me and you're not going to talk to me. You keep talking to your past relationship. Therefore, that means that me and you not in a relationship.
Right.
Is that clear?
Right.
That's what
Yes.
we're talking about.
Yes.
For women. That's why we wanted to have the conversation, because there are some women so stuck. Yeah, I know, men too. I ain't talking about that. There are women stuck in their past and are missing out on good men because they're not listening to them. They're not, because they're being triggered. You have to do something to hear the person that you're interested in. And as Lioness said, if you want some, you're going to have to change or don't get none.
And
Be in a relationship with yourself.
Yeah, and some women are in a relationship and they never left their last relationship.
Wow.
Mentally.
Wow.
Mentally.
Yeah, we're talking about women now, not men.
Yeah,
Spare
you
me.
just haven't left your last relationship. That's why your present relationship is not working out.
Yeah.
Do you understand what he
That's
just
true.
said? How much more clear can we make it for you? I mean, it ain't rocket science.
Yes.
Like we going over here and going over there. No, these are men that are talking about women, and I realize that when you hit a sore spot with men and women, they want to obfuscate and change the subject and give you these long soliloquies, right? We're talking about what we see in women. Hence, the Man Cave Morning Show.
Yes. Now, but shout out to everybody on the check-in, man.
Yeah, we've been blowing up on this from Brother North.
Yeah, and we gotta. I don't want to even go into the next topic.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
tomorrow.
That's definitely
The show
tomorrow's
took
show.
legs.
I wish you could come back.
I am. I'm back tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
I'm back tomorrow.
Yeah. We want to talk about the Charlemagne situation.
Yes, we do.
And should he be fired after recent allegations of rape and all of this?
Right.
And because it's a lot to that story. And
Yes.
from what I hear, Star broke the story.
Star broke
so
the
we'll
story.
talk about that tomorrow.
Right.
And also, the call for boycotts are becoming more frequent.
Yes.
Why? Why? We're gonna dive in deep on that tomorrow and everything. I didn't know that this was gonna grow a lot of legs, bruh.
Hey.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Grew a lot
That's
of legs.
why we here.
Yes. Shout out to Shawanda Ward on the check-in. She said, yes, that's why you should stay to yourself to heal and move on.
That's
Okay?
correct,
No,
Shawanda.
but you're
That's
right.
correct.
You're right. You see
That's
that?
correct.
That's the
Don't
thing.
be with nobody if you haven't healed. Holy crap.
Yes. You have to. I know me, I took like a 2-year break one time. I took a 2-year break. And after I took that break, guess what? I'm married now.
Yo, that says
now.
a lot. That says a lot. That says a lot, man.
I took a 2-year break. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's funny. The more and more we talk, and the more and more I even talk to you, the listeners, I'm learning from myself and my teammates
Right.
up here. You know what I'm saying? My co-hosts on the panel and everything, because it's like, okay, let's start applying these things,
Right.
you know, to my relationship.
Yes.
You know, but it can't, I could want to apply these things all I want to, but if the other person is not reciprocating in the same way, it's still not going to work. And that's
Very
what
true.
we're talking to y'all about today. It takes 2 people to want it to work.
That's
and to
correct.
want to fix
That
a
is
problem.
correct.
One person cannot fix a problem by itself. It takes two people to want to fix a problem, to fix a situation. Right. You know, and the key is, and we've been throwing this word around all day, is what? Listening.
Listening
is the key. But shout out to everybody, man, that joined us today on the Man Cave Morning Show. It feels good to get back in the water, to get my feet wet again.
This was a good
because
conversation.
that week vacation,
yeah, we off to the races, boy.
Yes, I'm still recovering.
Yeah.
And again, shout out to some wonderful people I met in Mexico, man. Some great people. Shout out to Lindsay and her husband Josh and Dave and Sherry and Crystal and I forgot the young lady's name from Russia and everything that we met and everything, but met some great people, man. It's great to get out and see other parts of the world.
It really is.
To get out your comfort zone and experience other people, because then you start to realize that everybody ain't all that bad.
Right.
And that's another
show topic.
That's another topic.
The show before the show.
Absolutely.
That's another topic.
Yes.
But we'll be back tomorrow, and we're going to finish up the rest of those topics and everything and hit y'all with another relationship topic. If you have a topic that you would like us to discuss on the Man Cave Morning Show, hit us up. Just hit us up. Hit up either the dude or Woo or myself. Inbox me or email us at mcms@bks1radio.com. That's MCMS. That means Man Cave Morning Show at bks1radio.com with your question, with your thoughts or whatever, or if you want to be an advertiser or us to promote your product or book or whatever like that, we'll work with you, man. But because this show is never about us.
It is always about you.
Because
you are the next best kept secret.
And we'll see y'all tomorrow morning. It feels good to be back.
My people.
My people, it feels good to be back.
F you too.
All right, y'all. Y'all know what it is, man. Man Cave Morning Show. Love y'all, man. I love y'all, man. We love y'all.
Yes, we do.
Peace and blessings. Shout out to everybody. Want to check in? Shout out to all the listeners on YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Ustream, WBKS1.com, the mother site. TuneIn, the TuneIn app. You got the TuneIn app. Thank you for listening. Download it. It's free if you don't have it now. TuneIn has over X amount of millions of subscribers now. Get the app. All right? We'll see y'all tomorrow on the Man Cave Morning Show.
Man Cave Morning Show.
Yo, this is Chris Spencer, and you're on BKS1 Radio.
It's your girl Chanel, BKS1 Radio, and I'm here with the beautiful Garcelle Bouvet.
I'm paying you later.
Hey, I'm the queen of comedy, some more, and right now you're rocking with BKS1 Radio.
BKS1 Radio Network. I'm here with the amazing Miss Tasha Smith. How you doing?
I'm doing so good. Thank you for coming out.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Hello, Denise Boutte. Hey, what's up? Shout out to BKS1 Radio. See you soon.
Brick City's finest, J.D. Williams. I'm in the Savage Podcast Studio, chilling at BKS1 Radio.
BKS1 Radio. I'm here with the legendary Mr. Dick Gregory. How you doing today, sir?
Fantastic, brother, and thank you.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Jamie Foxx, BKS1 Radio. What's going on with you?
Storming on.
This is George Dr. Funkenstein Clinton for BKS1 Radio. They be doing the dog, y'all.
Yo, this is Chris Spencer, and you're on BKS1